All right, y'all. I made it to Nairobi. I um I got here early Tuesday morning. In the past day and a half, I've been so exhausted. I've been just jet lagged, which is kind of strange. I don't usually suffer with jet lag. Only a few times in my life that I can remember have I had really bad jet lag. And Accra is only a 3 hour time difference between here and Ghana, so I wasn't expecting to be jet lagged. But I think part of it is that I flew through the night, and I had a short layover, so each flight was pretty short, so I didn't really get to sleep on the plane. Usually I sleep really well on planes, but I didn't sleep very well on these flights. So I've been tired the past day and a half. I'm starting to feel like myself. I've gone out and I've done some walking around my area. And one thing that I can say thus far that I love, and I think I'm going to love about Nairobi, is that it seems very walkable. I love a walkable city. That's one of the things I miss about living in New York. I don't particularly like living in New York, but I like that New York is a walkable city because I'm a walker. So, so far, I'm loving that Nairobi seems very walkable. Um, but I have to be honest. So I was hesitant to come to Nairobi. It was in my plans all along to come, but I was hesitant to come because of the Ebola situation, the situation that is steadily unfolding. And when the news of the outbreak first happened, like a few weeks ago, I was like, oh, okay. So I know that Kenya borders Uganda. That border is not close to Nairobi at all, but I didn't know how things were going to, um, how the story was going to transpire. So that's when I started thinking like, should I go? I don't know. I did pray about it because I pray about everything, and I asked God, tell me if I'm supposed to go. If I'm not supposed to go, let me know. Shut it down. Do something. Um, and the past few weeks, the past couple weeks that I've been kind of praying about it and wondering if I should come, I did not feel any sort of hesitation. I didn't feel like God was saying don't go. So I was like, all right, we're going to carry on with the plan as usual. So I'm here. I am here. I was actually here earlier this year. So technically, this is my second time in Nairobi. Um, I was here earlier this year. I had literally had less than 24 hours in Nairobi. And the reason why it was such a short time was because I had a long layover before flying back to the States. So I don't know if you all know, I've talked about this before, but I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro earlier this year in Tanzania. And after that, I went to Zanzibar and then I went to Mombasa. And the goal for both Zanzibar and Mombasa was to just relax after climbing the mountain, just to have some time on the beach, in the water, in the sun. And really, Mombasa ended up being that relaxing time for me. I did not do much in the city at all. I really spent time, I was in the hotel and I was on the beach, which was my hotel room was literally right on the beach, which was amazing. So I had an amazing view of the beach. I mean, literally right there every morning. And I just walked the beach and I enjoyed the sun and I enjoyed the sand and I relaxed. And I remember as I was flying into Mombasa, I just had a sense. I was like, something's here. I feel like something's brewing for me here in Mombasa. Um, and I didn't, well, something did brew in Mombasa. I'll have to talk about that in a later video. But um, I had a 1 day layover after my week in Mombasa. I flew to Nairobi for a long layover and then I flew back to the States. And when I got to Nairobi, I did one of those layover tours where they pick you up from the airport and they take you into the city and you kind of hit some of the hot spots. You walk around a little bit and then you go back to the airport. So that was the whole time. That was it. That was all I did in Nairobi was just that day tour, walking around the city. And I remember walking around the city, I felt like, okay, I have to come back here. Like, I don't know, there's something in the air. I feel something electric. I just feel like I want to be here. just walking around the city for that one day. So I said, all right, at some point I'm going to come back to Nairobi. I don't know when, but I will come back to Nairobi. And then I got back to the States and then realized I didn't really want to be in the States. So the plan all along was to come back to Nairobi and to just be here for a couple of months. And then I started doing some research, and I was looking at, when all of the rainy seasons were happening. And I found out the rainy season in Nairobi was, earlier this year. And I said, well, I don't want to fly into the city in the middle of the rainy season. I've never been there before. I don't know the lay of the land. So I don't want to be there and be in an area that's going to be very flooded. And I feel like I don't know what to do in the city. So that's when I decided to go to Ghana. And then I went to the conference in Ghana, or I found out about the conference in Ghana. And yeah, that's how I decided, okay, I'm just going to go to Ghana first, and then I'll go to Nairobi later. So that's the story of my decision to come to Nairobi. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do here yet. Honestly, I don't feel like I need to do a lot of things. I don't feel like I need to hit all the hot spots. I'm going to do a few touristy things, but I do feel like this time for me is going to be very relaxing and very restful. I hope, I pray that that's what it's going to be. The Airbnb that I'm staying is cool. There are a few things that I don't particularly care for, but it's cool for the most part. I'm on a high floor. There's a lot of greenery. Like, I'm looking out this window and there's all these trees and greenery, and the space is very large and spacious. I'm not going to show you all of it because you know all my business of where I'm staying. But there's a lot of greenery. So I love waking up in the morning and looking out my window and just seeing trees, and hearing the birds, although the birds can be a little loud, but hearing the birds. So yeah, it's a nice area. There's a park really close to me, so I've been going to the park. I went yesterday morning and today, and I'll probably go several times a week, just to walk through the park, just to smell the greenery, to see the greenery, to breathe in the air. So yeah, I'm gonna do a few things. But I am not going to fill my time with big things. I'm gonna relax, and I'm gonna rest, and I'm gonna take in the city, and I'm gonna enjoy the city and walk around and enjoy it a little bit. So yeah, I made it to Nairobi. I have to be honest though, I was very sad to leave Ghana. I was very sad. Being there for 2 months, I really started to feel like, you guys know this. If you watched any of my videos about Ghana, you know that Ghana was really feeling like home to me. When I first landed, I was just like, oh, I feel what I want to feel, and it feels very home-like. So being there for 2 months really gave me the opportunity to get the lay of the land, to start to kind of put pieces of the city together in my mind. I made friends, I met some people, made a lot of really great connections. And so I am planning. I'm in the early stages of planning of when I'm going to go back to Ghana. And so I was sad to leave. I feel like my heart is pulled there, but I wanted to give Kenya and I wanted to give Nairobi a chance. And again, I almost didn't come because of the Ebola situation, and I didn't feel any hesitation even as I was praying about it. But I have to say, kind of watching how it has unfolded, I was hesitant. I became even more hesitant when I found out that the U.S. was planning to build a treatment/containment/quarantine center here in Kenya, not in Nairobi. The place where they're building it, where they're planning to build it, is about 4 hours north of Nairobi, I believe. And so there have been a lot of protests around that. And listen, I don't blame the people, because I don't understand why it doesn't make sense to me why the US would need to build a treatment facility here specifically for Americans when the US has treatment facilities where people are trained and the facilities are prepared specifically for outbreaks such as Ebola. I am not a political pundit at all, but I do have opinions and I don't understand. I have some thoughts about it, but I don't understand it. It really kind of angers me, honestly, because it feels as if, and I've seen people say this, it feels as if the US is using Kenya as a dumping ground for a disease that they don't want, that the US doesn't want in the country. I understand not wanting the disease in the country. I fully understand that, but I can't agree with bringing it into a country that also does not have it, and spending all of this money to build a containment facility when the facilities are already in the US and they're built specifically for that purpose. Yeah, I'm not a political pundit, but I have opinions. So anyway, I'm happy that I'm here. I'm excited to see what the city has to offer. I hope to make some friends here. I hope to find some people who I can kind of hang out with while I'm here, because I did make friends in Ghana. And I also reconnected with an old friend who I've known for a long time, and I made a new friend, and I connected with a lot of new people. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Nairobi has to offer. I'm happy to be here. Hey, Kenya. Hey, Nairobi, if you're watching, if you see me on the street, say hello. And if you have suggestions for things that I should do, cute little things around the city that I should do, let me know. I'm looking forward to seeing what Nairobi has to offer and how I can connect here. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. If you don't know me by now, there might be some new people here. Hopefully some Kenyans have entered the chat. But if you don't know me by now, my name is Tryphena Wade. I am a professional actor, Broadway, TV, and film. I'm a certified master life coach, and I'm a globetrotter. And right now, I'm in Nairobi, Kenya. And I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.